Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I interrupt Christmas videos and bring you a normal homeschooling video that you would find here on my channel. It's been a while since I did one of these, and I feel like these videos are the most helpful kinds of videos to new homeschoolers, and so I wanted to make sure I got a new one up for you guys. Today's video is brought to you in partnership with The Good and the Beautiful, and if you are new to my channel, we use primarily The Good and the Beautiful in our homeschool, and we have been using The Good and the Beautiful for the last, this is our 4th year. So we've been very, very happy, and I have a whole playlist dedicated to The Good and the Beautiful, all the different things from when we first started using it all the way up until now. So today I am going to do a homeschool with me video with my youngest daughter, who is in the 3rd grade. She is 9. She just turned 9, and she enjoys making these videos. I have been asked in the past how my kids feel about occasionally having me film some of their school, and it's literally like maybe once a month for like 2 to 3 minutes per subject. So it's really not a big deal. And then I do have some kids that you guys have noticed that they just are not really sharing their routines and things anymore. And that is just the evolution of my life as a mom of older kids now. So all that to be said, Olivia does enjoy filming with me, and I let her know ahead of time that today I was going to be explaining how she does school at home to help other kids, and so that's what we're doing here. So one thing to know if you're new to my channel or new to homeschooling in general is I'm only going to be showing her independent work routine. So these are her specific grade level and ability level subjects. We have already completed our group learning, which consists of Bible time, scripture memorization, read alouds, missionary stories, history, geography, and science. So not all of those things all in one day, but that is kind of like the broad overview of the group subjects. And then her independent subjects cover all of her independent grade level, ability level work. So I am going to show you guys and go through her routine with you guys, her individual routine. We've been having a great year, and so I feel like our routine is pretty solid, and you can see her back there. She's ready to go. So we are gonna jump in. I did want to briefly touch on the fact that The Good and the Beautiful just released Math 4 Part 1. And if you've been around my channel for a while, you know that this year Olivia started doing The Good and the Beautiful Level 3. So I am so happy that Math 4 Part 1 is already available because then we can just continue right on into that, sticking with The Good and the Beautiful for math for her. I've been asked why I didn't use it for my other kids, and the reason was it wasn't ready yet. So I'm thrilled that it is ready, and so I wanted to briefly mention that. If you have been waiting or needing Math 4, that is available now, and I will have their website linked down below for you guys. So we are gonna go over, and I'm gonna show you everything that Olivia does for school every single day, 3rd grade. And she is my homeschooled from the beginning kiddo. She has never gone to preschool anywhere else other than right here with me at the kitchen table or her desk upstairs. So I like to mention that as well. So we're gonna jump in and get, so the first thing Olivia does every day for her independent work time is she updates the calendar, which is upstairs right in front of her desk. That goes over the date, weather, patterns, and just that broad overview. Then these are 3 things that she does completely on her own. So she will do a gratitude journal entry, very self-explanatory and simple. And then she does a handwriting page. This is The Good and the Beautiful handwriting level 3, I believe. Yeah, the 2nd edition of level 3. So she's still continuing to work on her cursive, and then for no other reason than I already owned these and all of my kids have completed them, I have her do 2 pages and explode the code. This is all review. She can very much do this on her own. I get asked a lot, do I feel like the Good and the Beautiful language arts doesn't have enough vocabulary? And the answer to that is absolutely not. It definitely has enough, but having 3 other kids who I need to like explain things to, it helps me if she can work a little bit longer independently. So she knows what to do with these 3 things, and so she's gonna go through those 3 things all on her own. So we love the Good and the Beautiful's cursive with these color-coded dots because it shows them where they need to start, when to lift the pencil, and it's really, really helped her with her cursive. So do your F's now. So this little color-coded system of the rainbow was something new they added to the revised editions, and that's what she follows here. So it's really easy for them to see where to start, especially when they're learning how to form letters in cursive that they're not familiar with. Like, she's never really done F, have you?
Yeah.
So we find that to be really helpful. Another thing that I always love and appreciate about the Good and the Beautiful handwriting is there's always some type of art on the bottom. Just a simple thing usually. Sometimes it's coloring a picture like this, drawing a favorite key, or coloring in this giraffe. Today it was continuing on the pattern in the box, and so that's always good practice. So now that she's done with her handwriting page, we just do 1 a day. She's gonna do 2 pages in the last level of Explode the Code, and then once she's done with this, then she'll be done with that because it only goes up to level 8. So we are on lesson 64 in the revised level 3 of the Good and the Beautiful language arts. And like I've mentioned so many times, but if you're new to my channel or this is the first video you've watched, the Good and the Beautiful's lessons are different every single day. So they generally include some of the same things, but they are never identical. So today it looks like we're working on some geography, also reviewing homophones. There's always their poetry that they read. We have a challenging word practice that we've been working on. And then here's my section where I read to her about air temperature and humidity. And then you can see there's always a spelling practice here for her targeted spelling words. On the other side, we're going over this chart and filling it in. And then down at the bottom, there is always the personal reading for 20 minutes from the Good and the Beautiful book list. This is the book she's currently reading. This is Pumpkin, Ginger, and Spice, and it is about 3 Dachshunds, good. And this is a level 4 book, and this is an easy read for her. This is just a fun one that she's enjoying. And this is from the Good and the Beautiful library. So even though it says to do it right at the end of the lesson, we definitely do not always do it right at the end of the lesson. Sometimes she will read to me in the afternoon while I have like a cup of coffee and we sit on the couch. Sometimes she'll read to me during when I'm making lunch. She reads out loud. And so I just wanted to point that out, that even though that's at the end of the lesson, we don't always do it then. So right here, we also have a little assignment from the personal reader. So that is from this right here. This comes with your course book when you buy the level. And so I get asked sometimes, do I have her read in addition to whatever their reading assignment is in the level? And I say yes. So she reads both. And then here's her poetry book. So we generally will start at the beginning of the lesson, and we just follow it in sequence. Every now and then, if I'm in the middle of something with another child and she's completed that portion of her independent work, she knows that that says independent practice, and I'll have her start there. But since I'm ready for it today, we are going to start with poetry reading on pages 49 and 50.
The woodpecker. The woodpecker pecked at a little round hole and made him a house in the telephone pole. One day when I watched, he poked out his head, and he had on a hood and a collar of red. When the streams of rain pour out of the sky and the sparkles of lightning go flash by, and the big, big wheels of thunder roll, he can snuggle back in the telephone pole.
So these are the challenging word climbs, and once your child can say the word correctly, pronounce it correctly from the bottom to the top of the mountain, you can see they draw a flag to represent conquering the mountains. So we have conquered 3 mountains so far this school year. The first one's there. So she is currently on this mountain. We have worked on this a few times, not a ton yet. So we're gonna see how well she does, and we just practice this. Even though the course book says 3 to 5 minutes, we generally do about 3. We've run through it about 3 times, and then call it a day. So, you ready? Okay, go ahead.
Chandelier, undervalued, valuable, a gas, typhoon, mansion, leak, consequential, mustache, natch, fiction.
Say it again.
Fiction.
Physician. That's another name for a doctor. Physician.
Okay.
Say it again.
Physician.
Good.
Artificially deceased.
Deceit.
Deceit.
You always say deceased. Deceased means dead. Deceit.
Deceit.
Okay.
Chemist, shriek, apostle, lasagna, television, pistachio,
Good.
fuchsia.
Good. So you only got deceit and physician wrong. You're getting very close. Try it again.
Chandelier, undervalued, valuable, a gas, typhoon, mansion, leak, consequential, mustache, gnat. This one always gets me.
I know. Why?
Physician,
Good.
artificially, deceit,
Good.
chemist, shriek, apostle, lasagna, television, pistachio, fuchsia.
Good. One more time. Relative humidity is the ratio of the amount of water vapor actually present in the air to the greatest amount possible at the same temperature. Deserts usually have low or high humidity. What do you think? A desert. Low. They don't get much rain, right? So there's not a lot of water vapor in the air. The word human or tropical areas have what? High humidity.
Yeah.
The word humid means conditions in which the humidity is high, making the air feel damp, kind of a little bit wet and stuffy. Air temperature is a measure of how hot or cold the air is, and humidity makes the air feel hotter, but not all hot air is humid. For example, Death Valley in California is famous for being the hottest place on earth, but it's also the driest place on earth. They do not get any rain, and you know we're going there.
We are?
Yeah, the hottest place on earth, but that's why we have to go in winter. Because you burn up. So we are going to read this chart here on the back, and it tells us right here the different countries: Brazil, Colombia, Finland, Kenya, Germany, and it tells us the average annual rainfall. So that's annual means in a whole year.
41 inches.
So in Brazil, they get an average of 41 inches a year. So we have this chart here with the country name, the average annual rainfall, and the high temperature. And we're gonna fill in the chart, okay? So Brazil is the first one, And their average annual rainfall is 41 inches. You can use the abbreviation, IN, period, per inches. And then their average high temperature is 79 degrees Fahrenheit.
Put an F.
For Fahrenheit. And make sure you use a capital letter because when we're talking about countries, we need to always capitalize the beginning. So I personally like to check off the lesson as we go through. So I read that. We completed the chart on the opposite page. So now I'm gonna have her read these words out loud to me so that she's familiar with them when they appear in this reader. So anytime they're introducing like a new word, they will have it here, and we find that to be helpful. So let's see if you can read those words to me.
So, sod.
Sowed.
Sowed. Wallowed. Savagely.
Good.
Pansies.
Pansies. Pansies are a kind of flower. Savagely.
It's like savage.
Yeah, like crazy. Wallowed, what does that mean?
Wall and it's
Like I wallowed in my sadness. That means like you just kind of stayed in your sadness. And this type of sewed doesn't mean like I sewed clothes. It means like gardening. Like
this is not your homework.
Okay, and then there's always a dog. So this kind of sewed means like to plant a garden. Okay? So all those words are gonna be in the next part when you read to me. So now that we've kind of done our section together, I'm going to have her go on and do her homophone practice. She's able to do that on her own as well. And then her spelling word practice it gives 3 options, and you can do all 3 if you'd like. I usually have her just choose 1 or 2. We don't always do all 3 unless I really feel like she needs additional practice. So today I'm gonna have her read the words and then spell them out loud to me, and then I'll probably have her do ABC order in a notebook. So this will kind of be a little bit of an independent section that she's able to work on herself. Yep. First read it and then cover.
Muscle. M-U-S-C-L-E.
Good. Next.
Against. A-G-A-I-N-S-T.
Good.
Caught. C-A-U-G-H-T.
Good.
Castle. C-A-S-T-L-E.
Good.
Okay, that's it.
All right, so now you need to get your notebook and put those in ABC order. So you remember how to do ABC order?
Yeah, you write down the C.
You start with whichever one is next in the alphabet. And what happens if the first 2 letters are the same? Then you look at what? The next letter. So if we had 2 spelling words that both started with C, like caught and castle, how do we know which one comes first? We look to the next one, right? But they both have A. So then we look to the next letter. This has S and this has U. So which one is gonna be first on the list?
S.
S. So castle would come before caught, okay? So let's make sure, let's just do it at the bottom of this page. So this is upside down. What kind of crazy notebook is this? So write me ABC order right here. Which one is first?
A.
Good. Now that she's completed all of this and then her ABC order, we are moving on to the last portion, and that is her reading from the level 3 personal reader. She's gonna read it out loud to me. pages 79 through 90, and then she is going to write 3 sentences on how her life is different from Bobby's life, which is the character in here. So I'm going to have her read out loud to me, and then she will answer those questions, hopefully without much prompting or help from me.
Mother sowed pansy seeds in a round bend in the side yard. When the little plants came up, she watered them and weeded them and kept the ground soft and fine so they could grow. All the time she was tending them, she kept thinking how nice it will be to hoe them and kept the ground soft and fine so the little radish plants could grow. All the time he was doing it.
Questions in your book ask you how your life is different from Bobby's life. So can you think of 3 different ways that your life is different than Bobby's?
Mm-hmm.
And write them in complete sentences? So why don't you tell me what your thoughts are before you write?
Well, I don't live on a farm.
Okay.
I don't sew, right?
You don't sow what?
Like plants.
You don't sow a garden?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't herd sheep.
Okay. Complete sentences. She wrote her sentences here, and so this page is now complete and this page is complete. So we will turn the page, and that is lesson 65, so that'll be our next lesson. So all we have left to do now is math, and she is currently doing level 3 book 2, so we are on lesson 68. I love the daily doses at the beginning of the math. It's a review for her, and we find them to be really helpful. And then here is where the lesson starts. So all of that is what I'm going to be reading to her and going over as we discuss things, filling things in. And then at the end of every lesson, there is always something for them to complete on their own. Independent activities, so the stars in the sky, and then this perimeter puzzle is a review of something she did already previously. So I love that they have the built-in review, and then there's the page that she'll be doing on her own. There's always games listed in here too. But sometimes, you know, if you're short on time, you don't always have to do every additional activity that they recommend. I know that that can be hard to do as a homeschooling mom, not doing something on the page, but you don't have to do the games every single day when they're listed as the bonus activities. So more multiplication strategies. I'm fairly confident that she understands multiplication. We've been focused on it this year, so this lesson shouldn't take us too long, but I always have her start here with the daily dose. Why don't you write the answers below so you don't forget? So now we're gonna do 10 times 9, which is what? Good. Okay, so this lesson we're talking about stars. Have you ever looked up at the night sky and studied the stars?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah, don't you remember?
When?
When we did the thing.
Oh, yeah. As you look up into the night sky, the stars seem to go on forever and ever. Scientists believe there are over 100 billion stars in our galaxy, the Milky Way. That is an unimaginable number of stars. The positions of stars have been used by people for thousands of years. Stars have helped people find their way. A new star signaled the birth of Jesus. And people have told stories about the arrangements of stars and imagined that stars make shapes in the sky called constellations. Today we're going to use a few of the constellations to discuss the strategies for multiplying by 3s, 4s, 6, 7, and 8. As we discuss the strategies, remember they're only suggestions to help you. If you already have the facts mastered, which you do, right?
I do.
Don't you have your 3s memorized?
Oh, yes.
Then you can use your own strategy. that you already know, okay? So, do you remember what the strategy is for multiplying by 2?
You do 2 times 2, which is 4.
It's a double strategy, remember?
Oh, yeah.
So like 8 times 2 is 2 8s. 2 times 6 is 2 6s. So that's the strategy we use for that. So what is 2 times 8? You know it. Or 8 times 2.
16.
Yeah. And so we see that here, right?
I didn't look at your answer.
I know you didn't. When we multiply by 3s, the strategy is very similar. You can think of groups. We can represent 3 times 8 with 3 constellations, see the stars, and then we can add another one to the total. So for example, we know 8 plus 8 is 16, 8 times 2 is 16. So if we wanted to do another one, which would be 8 times 3, we would just add another group of 8 onto the 16, which would be 24. But you already know that 8 times 3 is
24.
So let me have you fill in all these other ones.
18 times 9.
Verse that is in the middle of your math lesson there.
When I considered thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the moon and the stars which thou hast ordained. O Lord, our Lord, how excellent is thy name in all the earth.
Psalm
Psalm 8:39.
83:9. Good job. So now we're going to go through and we're going to practice all those facts one more time with the stars in the sky using whatever strategy you want to use for remembering multiplying. Olivia has finished up her math. That is the end of her independent work for school minus reading me this book, which I'm going to have her read to me before bedtime tonight. In addition to what you've seen here, she does do level 2 typing from the Good and the Beautiful once a week. And then we cover all of the other subjects like I mentioned in our morning time together as a family. But I wanted to show you guys the order that I do things in with her and show you a little bit more of our materials from the Good and the Beautiful. As you can see, we are using it for 90% of her schooling, and I just love them so much. So I wanted to show you guys some of her routine today. I hope you enjoyed homeschooling with me, and I hope that it helped you. Please give me a thumbs up. Give Olivia a thumbs up for working hard on her school day today. And I will have the Good and the Beautiful linked down in the description box for you guys. If anything you saw interests you, or you have any questions for me, you can post them down below and I will be sure to get back to you. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in my next one really soon. Bye. Did you just say?
Thanks for saying that.
Saying what?
Give Olivia a thumbs up for working hard on her schoolwork.
You want to see all your thumbs ups? Okay, I'll show you.
Thanks.
You guys better not let me down.